So back to the issue of is feminism being misunderstood or misused in Nigeria? Firstly, wanting to dominate men instead of its true meaning, advocating for gender equality in opportunities, rights and dignity. Then you also have tradition versus feminism. In Nigeria, where it's largely a patriarchal society, where cultural norms are deeply rooted in patriarchy, feminist ideas are sometimes seen as foreign and anti-African, leading to resistance and stereotyping. We also have religious framing. Nigeria is a highly religious, and some interpret feminism as being opposed to religious teachings on family and gender roles, which creates confusion about its goals. Now, in the case of it being misused, you have people who have extreme interpretations. A few individuals use the feminist label to push ideas that are more about personal grievances or superiority rather than equity and justice. This can distort the image of feminism. Also, you have with social media sensationalism, especially on Twitter and Instagram, where you see feminism is being reduced to... Before we get into anything, we have to understand what feminism is. Feminism at its core is a social, political and cultural movement and ideology that advocates for equal rights, opportunities and dignity of women and men. It seeks to challenge and dismantle systems of inequality and discrimination that disadvantage women and sometimes men too in society. Now, key elements of feminism include equality. Feminism does not mean women are better than men. It means both genders should have equal rights in education, employment, politics, and personal life. Choice and freedom. Feminism emphasizes that women should have the right to make choices about their bodies, careers, marriage, and lifestyle without coercion. Representation. It also entails representation. Feminism calls for women to be represented in leadership, governance, and decision-making processes rather than being only confined to traditional roles. But that is on a global scale. In feminism in Nigeria, in the Nigerian context, it entails issues such as child marriage and education for girls, gender-based violence and domestic abuse, cultural and religious practices that limit women's rights, representation in politics and governance, and many more. Feminist waves and movements worldwide. They include the first wave of feminism that happened between the 19th century, that is like for the modern day feminism, from the 19th century to early 20th century, which focused on legal rights, especially women's suffrage, which is the right to vote. You have notable figures like Mary Wollstonecraft from the UK. She was an early advocate for women's education. And you have Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Stanton, leaders in the suffrage movement. Then in Nigeria, you have feminist icons like Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, who led a protest during the 1940s against tax laws that were being disadvantaged against women, which also led to the abdication of a monarch in the Alake of Egba land temporarily. We also have notable feminist icons like Wangari Maathai from Kenya, Nobel laureate, founder of the Green Belt movement, linking environment and women's rights. We also have from Pakistan, Malala Yousafzai, who was shot in the face because she dared to speak up for women to go to school in Pakistan. She also received the Nobel Prize laureate for Peace